Hi and welcome to the OCR Review, a podcast that covers all things OCR from all around the world.
The first truly international OCR podcast. We are from the UK, living in Asia and following the US racing scene to bring you a holistic overview of what's going on in OCR globally. Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the OCR Review. Today we are recording a social distancing podcast and connecting with each other on Zoom as we all adjust to life in the new COVID normal. Last episode, we discussed how we were getting apocalypse ready and panic buying fitness equipment for our living rooms in preparation for the isolation to come. This episode, we're going to chat about the realities of the current situation, the home workout craze that is sweeping the globe, how we've been staying connected despite not being able to come together as a community, and then Jay has prepared an OCR quiz for everyone to play along to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought, seeing as we are the OCR review, that we'd start just with a bit of an update. Obviously, we're not seeing races at the minute, but just keeping an eye on what's going on. The UK seem to have kind of put a blanket on nothing happening until at least the 30th of June, which will be interesting to see how they manage to squeeze everything into that second half of the year. The USA currently cancelled till May 15th, so it'll be interesting to see what happens after that, especially as Vietnam, who I guess are taking their guidance from the USA, is due currently to still be held on the 16th of May. So, I mean, technically at the minute, that's a race that's still going ahead. That would be the most current one that I would know of still being put in place.
I think
the problem we've got at the minute is that we've currently got countries like Malaysia who have got full travel bans, like no one is allowed to enter, no one is allowed to leave.
Yeah.
That's now been extended to kind of mid-April. Singapore, we're still on essential travel. So if we carry on down this path, actually Vietnam being a series race, if lots of us can't get there, it will be interesting to see the impact that has and kind of what we're looking at. What do we think, guys? When are we expecting to see a race again personally?
I reckon
Realistic or
July, if we're really lucky, but yeah, 2021
Yeah,
could
2021. That's what I'm thinking.
Where I'm currently at is I think local races will go ahead by June, July time, but travel races is realistically October,
So
possibly into 2021.
Do you think then that they would have to limit those local races to just races? Because surely it's not fair to start putting things like series and things back in place.
So obviously this is based on no knowledge. It's on, like, it's fully opinion based. I don't think, unless everything is resolved by April 30th, anyone can realistically hold a series this year. If we get to July and there's not been a single series race, like the MEA stuff that they've already had their series and they've lost their final because of COVID, is a bit different. But the rest of us haven't done a single series. US got their first one out of the way. UK and Ireland haven't had any. I don't know if Europe had any. I don't think they did. Basically, I think there's been one series race in the US and that's it. I reckon, we might get Singapore will have a race. And if you're in Singapore, you can do that race. Or Vietnam might have a race in May, but I don't think we're going to be able to travel for it if they do. And I think that's probably going to be the case for a big part of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, considering that the series were originally supposed to all have wrapped up by August time, so that there was time for the roll down week and for all of that kind of process to happen in the lead up to the regionals and then Worlds, I think it'd be very surprising because then potentially people are squishing all of that into like 1-2 months. So
yeah, which is a risk of injury if nothing else.
Massively
nightmare.
Hey.
I was going to say, I wonder what that will mean with Worlds, because are they going to have qualifiers? Are they going to have Worlds? Will it even happen at all? Who has any idea? I don't know.
They can just do Spartan's new favourite thing and do an exhibition Worlds. Where like 8 people have actually qualified and everyone else can race but is only allowed on the podium with no prize money.
Oh, yeah, right.
Like regionals.
Now we've got no races, I'm just a bit more salty about it.
Well, I'm still holding out hopes for a December Worlds, so
I reckon that one could potentially happen. I really hope by Q4 the world might have had a handle on this, but I think it'll be interesting to see the process that could be put in place in order for people to attend, if it would be based just on, previous race results, or if it'll be based on nominations that get put forwards by the different Spartan teams. I think it would actually be quite interesting to then see how it's handled.
It's not just us either, is it? I mean, like the Olympics has just been cancelled, and that's huge. I mean, that's 4 years of working towards something. And some of that came into the mix of not just the safety, but also nations saying, like, our athletes haven't been able to go and train. So it's a similar kind of environment, right?
I think that's the difference. Like a lot of our training can be done outside, especially for us here in Asia. We still have some gyms open at the moment.
In Singapore.
In Singapore,
sorry. I think Worlds will happen because I don't think Spartan can afford Worlds not to happen. What that looks like is anyone's guess. Like realistically, you can say, yeah, you haven't raced this year, or you have raced only once this year and there was only 1 or 2 races. We'll just select podium athletes to compete. Like the gated heat is already a thing. So if you've qualified for a gated heat, you can qualify for Worlds, I would guess. Yeah. And so they might be able to do it a little bit more like that.
What will be interesting is that everyone is training in such a different way. I think at the minute you're seeing most of the world training in the way that they can. And I think, Sean, you've noticed some slightly interesting training techniques that have been going on, but it will be interesting to see if the podium does look different, because if you can't access the mountains or you haven't got your gym that you're used to training in, what does that look like? And you've also now got people who might not have been up the top, who have now got access to basically a year's training block that, if they've got good enough equipment and a good enough coach, could really do some damage. So
now, I know some of this is for money-making reasons, but I mean, they've extended the whole trifecta window now, that like that's a 2-year trifecta window. I wonder if they'll just carry over that reasoning and it'll be like a 2-year championship and they'll like double the money or something like that. It'll be like world champion 2019 to 2022. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a weird one. Like, we just don't know, because I keep saying, like, they could have a vaccine ready in 4 weeks. And then we've got most of the year and the whole thing changes then. Or the whole world could fucking crumble 4 weeks from now and we don't even need to worry about races. Like, everything that everyone says at the moment, unless you are one of the top 5 scientists researching this, is guesswork.
I think the one thing that OCR's really made us ready for, though, is the apocalypse. Like, if it all comes crumbling down, like, I've got a rope climb, I can scramble up walls, I can crawl through little tunnels, I can carry big, sacks of tins around the food. Like, I'm ready.
You're only prepared if it's a zombie apocalypse.
That's the only type of apocalypse. Like, any other apocalypses
are be like,
any other apocalypse is Tesco value apocalypse, as far as I'm concerned. Like, zombie apocalypse is like Marks and Spencer's.
So there we go. We've got it. Episode done. We're living through the Tesco value apocalypse, and everyone just needs to get over it.
Oh, goodness.
Tesco value bourbons are the best biscuits in the world. So,
all right, moving swiftly on. Sean, what workouts have you been seeing people doing?
So we've obviously seen lots of really top fitness professionals putting out free workouts on Instagram, hosting Zoom workouts. Spartan are literally running like a 24/7 Zoom channel, I think, aren't they?
Which is amazing. Like, that has been a great kind of source of community and people still checking in with each other.
Yeah, and like Joe goes on most days and does a good morning. Like, I've seen various OCR athletes and other athletes taking over different brands' Instagrams and doing workouts. I know there's most gyms in Singapore now are putting out virtual classes. And
YouTube
then we've
has opened up its live streaming capacity as well to allow more people to be live streaming workouts in real time all at once, because there's been such a huge uptick in people using their YouTube channels as well.
Yeah, we're using Zoom now. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure I read something right at the start of all this, where Zoom used to be limited to 20, and they were basically the first company that turned around and were like, you can have 50 now.
They've also extended the free time that you get for Zoom as well, which is good.
Yeah. So basically, what lots of companies doing good things for people. which is cool. Lots of people working out. Lots more people seem to be working out that weren't working out before as well.
I mean, I know.
I'm just going to throw it out there. My dad sent me a push-up challenge. This is the man that will not eat a vegetable and will not do any exercise. I was like, the world really is ending. You're doing push-ups.
Send him a broccoli challenge in response, like 10 forkfuls of broccoli. My mum's doing the Joe Wilkes body coach, PE teacher for the nation every morning. Yeah.
So my mum bought a stepper
that,
because she was worried that she wouldn't be able to leave the house. And since I've explained to her that she is actually able to leave the house, so she doesn't need to use the stepper necessarily, because she can still, like walk to the shops and
step outside.
She's an essential worker in her job, so she's actually still walking to her office as well. She's pretty much proceeded to not use the stepper and not walk outside. So.
Oh no!
Strong.
I was so like on that journey, like good. Oh
yeah, no. Although she does still ask me
Fully
daily
fell
to
off the
send her
stepper.
some sort of exercise challenge, and I'm like, yeah, sure, try doing this. Send me a picture or send me a video and show me how it's going. And I have yet to receive any videos back.
So the last time we did the recording, we were all talking about what equipment we would panic buy. Full update, we bought the air bike. So we've been keeping movement first in Singapore in business, I think. We've got ourselves an air bike. We've got a 15-kilo sandbag. Oh, we tried to buy some dumbbells, but we were trying to buy a 10, a 12, and a 15. And they rang and were like, we're really sorry, we didn't get the stock updated in time. We've got the 10, but the next one we've got is a 17.5. So we've now got this
Great for me.
massive dumbbell.
Oh my
that I
god!
can barely lift off the floor. So I've got to get stronger because I've got no choice.
Oh, there we go.
I said I'd panic buy a PS4, and I did. So
Yeah.
Have you guys committed to more gym equipment?
Yeah, we got three. So we got an 8, a 12, and a 14 kettlebell, and then we had a 16 kettlebell already. And actually, and a big old fatty sandbag as well. That's like 45 kg.
Yeah, because Jay thought if we went for like the heaviest possible, so it's a giant 45 kilogram one, but it's actually made up of 3 smaller 15 kg bags inside of it. So far it sits in the back room where I can't move it, and I just take out my single 15 kg.
It's the world's most effective doorstop at the moment. So.
Brilliant. I've lost track of where I was now.
People working at
home. Online.
Yes.
People working at home. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, we've obviously seen like a huge uptake in home workouts. That's what I was going to say. I've remembered now. Just obviously we are recording in Southeast Asia, specifically in Singapore. Each country has different rules. If you're listening to this outside of Singapore, check with your government. Yeah. Because we're saying, yeah, we can still go outside and go to the gym. Don't be like, cool, maybe I can do that now and end up causing issues. Like, just check where you are in the world. So yeah, we've seen lots of positive stuff, lots of positive uptake in fitness. Like, more and more people seem to be running because that's the only way they're allowed to leave the house.
I must admit, I did enjoy when the Italian Prime Minister, did you see what he put out? He was like, until this point, I see like 2 or 3 people running around Italy. Now you're all bloody marathon runners because you want to go out and about.
I saw one Italian mayor threaten teenagers with armed police with flamethrowers if they keep having parties on the beach. He was like, go to the beach and I'll be coming after you with flamethrowers. I was like,
I mean, that's one way to
Italians don't play.
I know. I mean, it is quite nice though. I mean, even around here, like going out and about around Botanic Gardens, we're seeing like loads of people out and about now. Not sure quite how socially distanced they are because it's so busy that at times you can't actually like keep a meter plus away from people, but it's nice to see.
I think in Singapore where there's so few trails, everyone's like, I need to be outside, so I'll go to the trail. I think it is just, please make sure you're still giving people a wide berth, folks.
I will say, like, Lucy sent us either a photo or a video the other day. She was at NUS running track and the basketball courts were the busiest I've ever seen. Like, there was 50 people on a court. Like, if you're one of those people, don't do that. Like, the whole point of this is like, we're lucky here that we can still go out because we've paid such good attention to all the social distancing rules. If you want to get locked in your house, the best way to do it is start ignoring them now for stupid things.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, I understand that you still want to go out and do the stuff you want to do, but maybe don't decide now's the time for a 55-a-side basketball game. Like, especially a sport that is a contact sport that
Yeah, this year is not the year for team
doesn't.
sports.
No.
And I think that's the thing as well, is like, I think people are learning more and more, like, that you can do some really incredible stuff staying at home.
Yeah.
There was that guy, I can't pronounce his name, but he did the marathon on his balcony.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to attempt?
There you go. Sean
Nick
Nick
No,
Chomovitz, yeah.
I'm not going to.
He did a marathon on his.
Said it wrong.
Yeah, did a marathon on his balcony, his 7-meter balcony. So that's 42,000
that is
meters.
commitment.
I did the maths on
like
this. It's
7
like-
meters, 23 feet, and like he did it in just under 7 hours, which
That's
is insane. I mean, that's also like
'Cause you got
twice what his
you
normal
got that
marathon
turnaround
time
time,
it
right?
is. But I mean, talk about just getting creative at home and being like, I'm going to
Yeah.
get it done. Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be fair, like, races will come back, and I think that's something that I'm not struggling with the training at the minute. I'm struggling with the food, and I've been eating like an absolute asshole for the last couple of weeks. I feel like I finally got back to the bulk is so real. Pizza is just too good. But I think it's that races will come back, and actually, if you are a marathon runner or you are an OCR runner, you've got to find your way of adapting and still keeping some semblance of training if you want to have any chance of kind of sticking with it when things return to normal.
And I think, like, we've seen lots of really fun things, like people doing, like, finding ways to run around when they can't get out, people buying equipment, like making equipment, doing certain things to keep their fitness up. I think what is important to take from that, races will come back, is that what you don't want to do is get involved in 50 Instagram challenges and end up seriously injured. Like, the number of people I've seen that are like, oh, I want to do some fitness. What shall I do? I'm going to do 100 burpees every day for a month. You know, and you're like, okay, like, if you've never done fitness and you're starting fitness with 100 burpees a day for a month, I can tell you right now, not as a doctor, as a human being, you're going to get hurt. Like, unless you're doing 1 burpee every 7 minutes on the minute or something stupid like that. But realistically, people are throwing themselves into things they don't know how to do. Which, like, I feel like I'm always the grumpy one on the podcast at the moment, but I just, because like, I'm the only one who's, like, fitness is my job. And so although it's fun to see people doing stuff, like, I spend a lot of my time watching stuff like, oh God, please don't get hurt. And like, they're people I know as well, like people I'm friends with, people friends of friends, people I've met, that I'm just like, make better choices. Like, you're better than this. Like, the push-up challenge is the one that's really like I say relentless. It's not quite what I mean. Like doing the 10 push-ups and passing them on is great, but then you're seeing people make that more complicated. And then you're seeing people who can't do a push-up try and do 10 fucking shoulder push-ups or feet on the wall, like all sorts of nonsense. And you're like, if you cannot do a push-up, you shouldn't be doing 10 modified, like, ridiculously hard push-ups every time your mate tags you in one on Instagram.
Definitely, but especially when you don't know how long this is going to be going on for. Like, there is nothing worse, well, there would be nothing worse for me right now than getting an injury where I couldn't do anything at all. So if you're trying to ease into this and start from scratch, I mean, even if you do train hard, you're going to be adapting what you're used to doing. Your body isn't going to know certain movements or be used to certain stuff. Be careful, because if you're the one that then gets injured and can't do anything at all, that's going to be even worse than not doing 500 push-ups or something in a row.
So Sean, as a coach, what would you recommend people do in order to keep themselves safe and on track with a fitness goal over this quarantine period?
The same thing I'd recommend for everyone who wants to do something properly is pay someone that knows what they're doing. I don't care if you don't want to pay me, but
that would be nice though.
Yeah, like, if you do want to pay me, awesome, let me know. But like, there are plenty of top level people who are putting out very cheap bodyweight home guides with like good instructions. There's loads and loads of stuff that you can watch and learn. I would basically say the same as anything. If you're starting something new, is do your research and look into it properly. If you really want to get the best out of it, like if you're in the UK, for example, and you know you've realistically got 12 weeks now, possibly, where you can run and do whatever you can do at home, it's probably a good time to look into some sort of program. And people are probably going to put programs together for quarantine training specifically.
Oh yeah, I've already seen them. They're coming.
Yeah, no, there's been loads. And I think actually something that I would maybe add to Sean's point is the reason why you're paying someone to create you a program or to work with you is because they're going to create something that's varied and periodized. So you're not just going to be smashing burpees or push-ups or one movement every single day. You're going to be learning how to move your body in a way that you can actually sustain that sort of energy, effort, intensity without getting injured.
I think a really good thing as well is like I've seen a couple of things about this. Like a top tip with body weight stuff is so much of it is push. Like it's so many push-ups and burpees and stuff. It's a lot of push work, and like unless you've got a pull-up bar, like I've seen a couple of like top tip moments for like pull exercises at home. So like one was Samantha Briggs from the CrossFit Games.
I was just about to say Sam Briggs under the chair.
Yeah, so getting underneath your kitchen chair and pulling up. One of the other things that I saw that was like some of the CrossFit dudes are like so chunky, like big, broad dudes. They're like loads of photos online of them just stuck in their chairs. So the alternative, the alternative,
ours like that, like tiny.
we've got a crossbar. It won't work on us. The alternative is, I actually saw this. This is pretty cool. You got to sort of drag yourself up the door a little bit, but actually was getting sort of 2 tea towels, cloth kitchen towels, because that's a very British thing we found out, calling stuff tea towels.
This is true.
But tying a knot, like a really solid knot in the end of it, looping it. So looping it over the door and then closing the door. You can then grip the towel ends, and you can do like bicep curl pull-ups like this. I said like this, half of people are going to listen to that, but imagine like a kind of pronated bicep curl,
almost like a TRX.
Like a TRX, but actually it was like
it's a hammer row,
like a hammer row. But it's because push-ups and squats, it's a lot of push stuff, but it's difficult to do pull when you're doing bodyweight work without a bit of apparatus to help you out. So under the kitchen chair or using a towel. Really cool. And I love that. I think that's the best of humanity in times like this, like that kind of see a problem, solve a problem mentality. But I think, like you were saying, Sean, don't be scared to ask for help and get a program, go to Team Grit, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and I think actually a shout out to Jesse and Sean. Obviously, they've got their Team Grit workout of the weeks going out regularly at the moment, all of which are body weight based during this period, I believe.
So we've adapted them now so that you can do them anywhere with anything, because obviously we're very aware that not everyone's getting out and about. And I think I'd just jump on that and say, like, we're talking about the whole kind of the challenge side of things. It's one thing to tag your friends in a challenge like, oh, I'll do 10, you do 10. I think the thing to be really aware of at the minute is just because someone is an athlete doesn't mean they know how to coach and program.
100%.
So like we are Team Grit as a team. All the coaching comes from Sean, and Sean does my coaching, he does my programming. I don't do that. And yes, I now know enough to get me by, but prime example, the other day, me, Emily and Leanne went and did a workout at Fort Canning and decided that it would be good to do so like three of us. One of us was doing runs up and down a staircase with a sandbag, the other person was doing hill sprints, and then the third workout was burpees. And after a few rounds I was like, this was a bad idea, there is no rest. So I think a lot of people, like, I'm very mindful not to do it, because I know that while I can definitely cobble myself together a good workout, I don't know enough about specific body parts and specific movements to pair that over a long time. So I just wouldn't be willing to coach anyone. What we are seeing, sadly, is people who don't have those qualifications all over social media, all over YouTube, putting out workouts, which, while that's really nice, you don't necessarily know what you're doing. You don't know how to modify things. You don't know the impact for other people. Leave it to the professionals. Like, that is genuinely what they're here for. And like, if you have got a question, like, obviously can't send you like months of programming, but if it's simple questions that you've got, like, shoot Sean a message, reach out to people that do know what they're talking about.
I'm always willing to help, especially at the moment. Like, even if you see something and you're like, I just want to check if this is a sensible workout to do, and send it to me. I'm not going to rework it for you, but I might just say no. Like, without naming names or where I saw it, I saw someone doing something the other day called a crisscross squat, which
a what?
basically yeah, exactly. Not an exercise. This was put out on a big platform by a like a sponsored athlete, and the movement was basically a very poor squat at like not even 45 degrees, and then you jumped your ankles over each other in like a
like crisscross.
If you're watching this, you've seen what I've done. And do this for 1 minute straight. And I was watching it for 1 second. Like, that is, every single person is going to have IT band issues and rolled ankles. And this is a person put out by a big company as an elite athlete. And you're like, that obviously proves that elite athletes aren't elite trainers. Like, not always. No, like, just being an elite athlete doesn't make you an elite trainer. In the same way, like, big-headedly, I consider myself a good trainer. Like, if you come to me and dedicate yourself, I can get you to a good place fitness-wise. I'm not an elite athlete. Like, I wouldn't claim to be just because I know what I'm doing, because I don't have, like, I'm not going to be. But just being an elite athlete doesn't mean you're going to know what you're doing. The other thing we have seen, I think I've seen one of the guys we met at Spartan Vietnam community workout did it, but it started off, I think it was a guy in India did it first. I've seen a guy in America do it, lots of people, is the oil floor treadmill.
Oh,
it's brilliant. I mean, it's a terrible idea, but it's amazing.
It's really good fun.
Injuries.
Like, it's a fun 10-second
video. Do you
video.
want to just explain what it is?
So basically, someone has like a tile floor, they pour a load of oil on the floor, lean against the side and run their feet.
Right, so I went into Cold Store the other day and all of the cooking oil was gone, and I was like, why are people panic buying oil? Like, and I was thinking like, this isn't the food to be cooking right now, like dense, oily, like, is this why people have been buying oil? Like, just to turn their floors into treadmills
for free.
Like,
the amount me, I've been buying oil for my oil wrestling
just turning your floor into an ice rink. Oh, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's so few sports at the moment. Like, people are watching anything. Like, I'm basically now just sliding across the floor and people are guessing how long it will take me to stop. It's great. No, yeah, like this oil trim, it's a very funny 10-second clip. Just in case anyone thinks it's an actual workout, it's not. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to either do nothing, and the 10th time, you're probably going to slip and take your teeth out on the tiles.
Nice.
Yeah.
So fun for the internet, not actually a workout. Like, anywhere you are allowed outside, even if it's once a day, go outside.
Yeah.
Like, it's
socially distant.
Yeah. Be responsible. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I saw a photo the other day from somewhere in Chicago where everyone was out for their one walk a day and were closer together than we are now.
Oh, gosh.
Like, they were shoulder to shoulder with strangers, people running, people on bikes, people walking. Like, you defeat the point. Like, you're all staying at home 23 hours a day to ruin it in a 1-hour walk.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
So, sorry, I'm jumping over.
Go.
You sure?
Yeah.
Sorry. So, Jay, you're talking about pull movements.
Yes.
You've got a new bit of kit.
I do, and it's from Kensu Industries.
Kensu, tell us more.
Which is actually, it's just my mum and my uncle Kenny.
So mum is called Sue.
My mum's called Sue.
Clarify.
Yeah, so it's Kensu. This literally arrived this morning, but I was talking about wanting one. So this is a mobile grip board. For those of you who are listening on the audio podcast, it's basically a giant rolling pin with grip cutouts at different sizes. But my mum has made it for me for free.
Well,
we'll put a photo on Instagram.
We'll put a photo on Instagram. But these are like
amazing.
About $150 online, like from similar companies. And my uncle Kenny had a look at it, who is an incredible carpenter, and he went, "Oh, knock that up. I've got an old banister at home." So yeah, this is the old banister from his house when he redid it, and he's turned it into a grip board. So I can now do lots of little pinchy, crimpy hangs in my living room, which is fantastic.
Some of these are quite small as well. There's like an 8mm hold on this bit here, and
Jay's going to be an expert climber when it comes back.
Right?
Yeah. But just shout out to Mum and to Uncle Kenny for keeping my grip gains going during the workout. Awesome. Now, I've said to my mum and Uncle Kenny that they could do this as a side industry, especially as both of them are locked in and working from home at the moment. So we are going to put a photo of this up. She's also made me some other dynamite sort of hold grips and a ball grip, which she calls elephant balls, and then because they're massive, and she's made me a pinch grip block that you can put weight onto as well. And I said that she could make a cottage industry of these. So I reckon if she gets some interest, and Uncle Kenny gets some interest and puts it out there.
So for anyone that's listening,
if you guys want
if you are interested,
bully my mum into quitting her job and becoming a full-time climbing grip and accessory training product maker, because she does it all out of recycled stuff as well, so saving that earth. So this was a banister. The dynamite grips were down rails, and the elephant balls are actually, all of it's from the banister. They just fall over when they walk up the stairs now. But the elephant balls things was the decoration at the end. Yeah, it's quality.
Yeah, no. So
your poor mum, if there's too much interest, she'll have no house left.
Just be dismantling the house.
She's a champion skip dipper, I've got to say. Yeah, she does loads of palette art as well. So like she's made like a giant shark out of an old.
Lean sideways for people who aren't.
Oh yeah.
Here. Wait, we need to move those out of the way. But this she made for us as well.
Alona, stop having so many trophies. They're just getting in the way.
But for those of you that are watching on Zoom, Mum made this as well out of old palette. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it is. That was to commemorate our first Spartan sprint that we did together.
Oh, so cute.
Pretty cool.
Cool. So I know we've sort of moved part of this, but I've just remembered one of the things I really wanted to say about like people working out at home. If you've started new workout stuff or you're working out much more now, stretch.
Yeah, for sure.
And actually that's a question that I'll put back to both of you guys. Given that we're all trying to, be a little bit more socially distant and, not spend too much time in gyms and in close proximity to people, what are you doing that's changed in your training?
I'm very lucky in that almost nothing has had to change in my personal training. The gym I work out is I have a code to the gym. I go in when no one else is in there anyway. I do all my stretching at home. The very slight adjustment is that I'm avoiding 5 p.m. but I wasn't really training there anyway because that's when I have clients. So
yeah, you've always been training because obviously you're working when people want to train, so you're always training when people are working, which is quite good.
Social isolation hasn't really impacted me because I like being by myself anyway.
Sean hasn't even noticed. He's doing absolutely fine. For me, I am trying to be outside when I can, so I normally be looking at using the gym kind of 3 or 4 times a week. I'm still using Ministry of Fitness down in the city because they have been so hot on kind of the procedures they're putting in place. I still feel very safe there. They're obviously abiding by all the government rules. So I just try and if I'm going to the gym maybe once a week, I'll try and go in before anyone else. Some gyms are being really good. So the bouldering gyms are now sending number updates. So you can click and see how many people are in the gym at that time. So you can avoid the times where there's too many people there. And like I say, I'm trying to take our equipment outside. I've realized there's so many good outdoor spaces that you can train. I think the beauty of OCR is if you can still get outside, you're actually probably doing a better training session if you're training outside anyway, because you race outside. So it's probably the perfect opportunity. Like Fort Canning here is really good. And just making sure, I think what I'm finding is because I think I'm on half term at the minute as well. So I'm not working for the next 2 weeks. So I've got lots of time. I'm one of those people that needs to make sure I don't overdo it because I'm trying to smash these horrific sessions because I haven't got any races coming up. And I'm definitely on the borderline of not doing too much. So just making sure I'm balancing the recovery. I'm doing a lot of sitting in my legs and doing a lot of kind of foam rolling and just trying to keep things ticking over. How about you guys?
I think definitely the same in terms of trying to make use of the outside as much as possible. My regular gym is closed at the moment, so I am a little bit more limited to at-home workouts, although the personal trainer that I work with has been posting workouts on her YouTube channel, so that's been great. And then also I've integrated a little bit more kind of stair work into the program as well. So obviously not able to do as much hill work
in the condo
running,
or
stair
work in the condo,
so literally condo staircase up and down. My neighbours think I'm balmy, but there we go.
That's all right, they thought that before this anyway. That's the standard OCR vibe. Everyone's like
now. But yeah, actually then, as you mentioned, Sean, earlier, I've then been integrating a lot more stretching and mobility work as well to kind of offset the fact that my training has adjusted slightly. And also doing a bit more kettlebell work where I would normally be doing barbell work because I don't have barbells here and would probably really annoy the neighbours if we did decide to start, dropping barbells on the 4th floor.
Drop it from the top.
Woohoo!
It's very expensive to buy. We considered a barbell and decided it wasn't worth buying a barbell, but then we're going to buy some floor for just the heavier dumbbells and stuff. And then looking into how much that cost, it was like, I'll just put it down carefully.
Yeah.
I used to sort of mess around with kettlebells, but I've got to say, like, I'm becoming a big fan. Like, I like the offset, the fact that it hits those little accessory muscles. Like, I'm getting more and more into kettlebell stuff. Like, yeah, over barbell stuff. I've got to say, like, the people are saying that COVID may be the accelerant of the work home revolution. I think for me, it's going to be the kettlebell revolution. Just in my own training.
Well,
Kettlebells are a great bit of kit. Like, they can do a lot.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm interested to see now is that obviously, in fitness, we always see trends going through. I think for a while, OCR and kind of functional fitness was very trendy. Obviously, we saw the CrossFit trend. Recently, we've seen everyone doing that kind of Barry's boot camp style, like on and off a treadmill and some kind of lightweight work. Sean's face is making me laugh.
Sorry, I've just realised people can see me for the first time ever. If I pull funny faces, sorry, like I don't share all of my opinions on everything because people don't want to listen to me complain about how much I hate certain things. So if you do watch and see me pull stupid faces, sorry, ask me about it. I'll tell you in private.
There we go. But yeah, I think actually that's this is what I'm now interested to see is will like bodyweight workouts become the new trend, or will this kind of like following along to a YouTube channel or a live Instagram, live Facebook, whatever, will that become the new thing in the same way that people used to do workout videos back in the 80s? Is this going to be the next evolution of fitness trends?
I actually think it's possibly going to kill those things. I think people are going to be by the time it's all said and done, people are going to be sick of YouTube videos and sick of like online workouts. People are just going to want to train together again. People are going to want to go to the gym. Like, some people might not have touched a barbell for 4 months and they're literally going to be like, I never want to see an assault bike again because that's what I've got in my living room and that's all I've used. I never want to see a treadmill again because I haven't been able to run outside. Like, I think it's going to be, the trend I think we're going to see is people with very tight chests and undeveloped backs. But like you said, Jay, it's much easier to work a push muscle. But I genuinely, I say that in jest, but genuinely, I think we're going to see a lot of people have back problems and tight chest and shoulder muscles.
Well, especially when you combine it with everyone being sat at their desk. Like, I'm a teacher. I do not do sitting at my desk, and I'm now finding myself sitting at my desk all day long answering emails. It'll be an interesting thing to see. I think the thing it might do is for that person who is in the kind of middle zone. So like, I will go back to the gym, even if the gym's closed, even if I had whatever amount of time, I would still very much be back to the gym. I think for the people who are possibly using the gym maybe once or twice a week and aren't training for a specific goal, I'm realizing that actually with the equipment I've got, I can haul my sandbag down to Fort Canning and I can have a cracking workout. I think if I was in that stage where I wasn't fully committed, I wasn't training necessarily for races, I would be looking at the cost of a gym membership, assessing that and going, now that I've got this equipment in my house anyway, and I've got a park down the road, what am I actually gaining from that gym membership? And it'll be interesting to see if there's that middle ground that kind of go, do you know what? I don't actually need it.
What I'm hoping what we see is an uptake in fitness in general, but also some people that were unsure of fitness, being like people like me that didn't want to run, being forced to run, seeing some people who are good runners that didn't know they were good runners because they didn't want to do it, seeing people who like thought they hated working out because they didn't like going to the gym for 90 minutes and lifting weights and doing nothing else, discover cardio and functional movements and be like, shit, this is for me. I like going for it. Like, I like doing kilometer intervals with burpees, push-ups and squats, everything. Like, that's what I like. And like, for us, that's a good thing because it means those are the sort of things that cross over into OCR. like bodybuilding doesn't cross into OCR. We've discussed it before, like the guy with his 8-pack being sick, 4K into a beast, like those guys don't cross over. But if they're forced to run and they're forced to do functional movement, then yeah, I think we're going to see an uptake in OCR when this is all said and done, if it still exists. If not, every race goes bankrupt in the next year. Just I was briefly a shining light, just dragged you back into the pits of
Jay,
despair.
I need a bit of joy.
Should we do a quiz? Should we do a quiz?
Okay, so I'm quite worried about this.
I'm
Jay, talk us through it. I'm keen.
Okay, so this is, since we've smashed apart all of our home workout vibes, this is a quiz that will result in a home workout. So it's 4 very simple movements. It's squats, push-ups, burpees, and planks. And the way that it works is those are 4 rounds. Each question that you get wrong results in a penalty of that number. So there's 4 questions-ish in each round. So if you get all 4 questions wrong for squats, you're doing 40 squats, okay? That then goes through. The last round is a round for rounds. So there's 3 questions in that. If you get all 3 wrong, you're doing 3 rounds of the movements that you got wrong. In the others, if you get all the questions right,
so many burpees.
you're only doing 1. Now, this is one that I hope as well that our listeners at home will play along with. So we're going to give you some time to answer at home as well. And then if whatever questions you do get wrong, whatever workout you end up with from this, post it up on your social media. I'd love to have a see what you guys have done. Now, I had a lot of fun making this. Some of the questions
Can you tell that Jay is a
yes.
teacher?
So just before we start, we obviously all have a workout to do afterwards. How do you get something to do?
Oh, yeah.
So
that's
for
a
every
good
question
point.
we get right, do you have to do the
Oh,
opposite?
God.
So say I
Oh,
got
I like
all
this.
3 of my
Where's
rounds
the
right.
board?
Okay,
So I
yeah,
think
I
every
didn't.
question
okay.
we get right, you have to do something for.
Okay, I didn't.
Give me
I
the
didn't
little
actually
board.
anticipate that. I was. Oh God, okay.
I'd only just thought about it when I suddenly was like, wait, if I'm going to do 3 rounds of 40 burpees, there's no way you're getting away with nothing.
Okay, well, burpees are only 5. I was quite nice there.
All right.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah. All right. We'll do a versus then. It's like attack the quizmaster, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, that's mine. I've added myself.
Elona,
in.
it's a shame you can't just move into our screen. We could make room for you so we could
Yeah.
verse
Oh,
Jay.
God. Yeah, no, disappearing.
Oh, she's gone.
Okay. All right. So, all right, we'll try that. Okay. So, am I challenging all 3 of you?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Oh,
if any one of
God.
us gets it right, you're in trouble.
Christ.
You're also on
Okay.
school holidays. You've got
Oh
time.
man, see, I made some of these obscure, but I really should have gone. Okay, all right. Okay,
I like this. I feel like this is definitely redressing the balance because
I'm gonna end up doing
very
twice as much. It's
concerned
ridiculous. Okay,
that
okay.
he will have
Fine,
done some weird
fine.
facts.
Hang on. One more thing before we do start. Just being a complainy coach, if you want to play along at home and you can't do any of these movements, message me and I will send you a modification. Okay?
Give him something to do. He's got loads of time.
Yeah, I've got spare time. Like,
Okay, so
We just say, just so it doesn't clog up, sorry, Jay, the OCR review, message him at either Team Grit OCR on Instagram or Silverback Spartan on Instagram.
yeah, because I'm on it
You
at
can
the
deal
other
with it.
ones, and I don't know what I'm doing. So.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
also post. We can post the movement standards as well.
Right,
Maybe.
quiz.
So when we do it, we can share. This is how you're supposed to do it. Cool.
There's some bonus questions in here as well that are minus stuff. Okay, so like if you
Okay.
get but that's the other ones. It's multiple choice, so you're going to say A, B, C, or D. I'll make a note, and at the end of the round, I'll tell you what you got right and wrong. For the bonus questions, it's the first person to shout it out. So once I've finished, first person to shout it out gets it. Okay, so
can you see me Googling on my phone?
no googling, don't cheat.
I'm not
Okay,
going to allow it.
We're all in airplane mode.
squat round. Okay, question number 1. Mr. Mouse's real name is.
Who is
A.
that going to be obscure?
Mr.
Mr.
Mouse is the
guy-
godfather.
Mr. Mouse.
Yeah.
He's like the guy who basically invented the first ever OCR.
He's the
in
inventor of
UK.
Tough Guy.
You know, the
Yeah,
one
he
that
does Tough
happens
Guy
like
in
once a
Scotland.
year
Okay.
in like the
Yeah,
middle
yeah.
of nowhere.
Okay.
with,
Okay.
like,
Oh,
all-
okay.
all-
Yeah,
Mr. Mouse's real name
From
is.
this week onwards, we won't have Jessie on the podcast because she obviously doesn't know anything.
All right. So Mr. Mouse's real name is A. Billy Wilson, B. Robert James, C. Michael Lawrence, D. Mick Daniels,
Can we
Can you
have
say
those
D
again,
again? You
please?
cut out.
D. Mick Daniels.
No, all of them again.
Okay, I'll do it one more time and then you got to answer. A. Billy Wilson, B. Robert James, C. Michael Lawrence, D, Mick Daniels.
D.
A, B, C. So Jesse's going D.
Can I just check what was B?
God. D was Mick Daniels.
No, B.
No, he said B.
Oh, B.
B.
B was Robert James.
Yeah, that one. That's who I want to go for.
Sean is B.
I'm going to go for A.
Ilona is
Oh, I like
A.
this. If we all go
We can
different
cover the
answers, we
spread,
can mess
yeah.
with him.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
true.
Oh, God. All right. Question number 2.
Oh, do we not get the answer?
Oh, you want the answer straight
Yes.
away? Okay.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
answer
we're
is...
not going to do a round.
No, I feel like we should get the answer and then move on.
Okay.
Okay. The answer was A, Billy Wilson.
Hey! I know stuff. I've clearly
So
watched Rise of the
that's
Suffragettes
me
too
with
many
one.
times.
But
So, wait, does that mean his name is William Wilson?
no, his mate... yeah, I guess so. If it's Billy, like William
Incredible.
Wilson. Yeah. Okay. So question number 2. May the 2nd, 2010 was the first Tough Mudder, but which US state did it take place in? A, Vermont, B, Pennsylvania, C, Utah, or D, New York State?
C.
Okay, so Shawnee's going C.
Oh, he seemed confident.
That was my guess before we had the multiple choices. So
Okay, I'm going A, just to be different.
Yeah, I was going to go with A as well.
Jessie's
Vermont.
going A.
I feel like that's similar to
Where's Boulder?
Spartan.
Colorado.
Everything happens in Boulder.
Alona,
I'm going to go with A.
go to A.
Sticking with it.
Okay. It was in B, Pennsylvania. So you
Oh,
got that
no.
one wrong. Okay. Question number 3. The Guinness record for longest completed monkey bars was achieved by Autobac 7 Company in Japan on Sunshine Wharf, Kobe. But how long were those monkey bars? 200 meters, 70 meters, 350 meters, or 149.99 meters?
Sorry, just checking. They built the longest monkey bars, or someone did the longest monkey bars?
Built and completed.
Okay.
Is this one single person that completed it?
The company is called Autobac 7, but it was one person who did it.
One person.
So-
What's the length of the one at Nuclear?
100.
100.
And this person did it the whole way in one shot.
In one
Without...
shot. And it was raining
Can
as
we
well.
just have the
Yeah.
can we have the
So-
options again?
Yeah. A, 200 meters. B, 70 meters. C,
Yeah.
350 meters. Or D, 149.99 meters.
D.
I can't tell
A.
if that last one's put in to like throw us off because it's such a
Sean went for
weirdly
D.
specific
I
length.
think it's specific, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think 200 meters seems way too far, but 70 is not enough because I know people that have completed 100.
At
So-
Nuclear,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm going A.
Jesse's going A,
I'm going for whatever the weirdly specific one was.
149.99.
Yes.
is
Yeah,
D.
that one.
Okay, D is the correct answer.
I thought it was a double bluff. Dang.
Okay, so that's given me another set of squats to do. Okay. Question
Well
number
done, Alona.
Question number 4. Okay. What? Oh, see, I went for an easy question. I'm regretting it now. Okay. Okay. What race would not count towards your trifecta? An ultra for A, B, a trail, C, a beast, or D, a stadion?
Whatever one trail was.
Trail, yeah,
Yeah.
B.
So everyone's going for B. B is the correct answer. Okay.
B. So that's 3 extra sets of squats there.
So
I...
I-
No, an ultra
Ultra
counts
does.
as a beast.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, ultra counts as a
Mm.
beast.
That's how I
Okay.
managed to get
It
mine
counts
2
in
times.
that and the endurance.
Okay,
trifecta.
so Sean, currently you're on 20 squats.
I
Jesse,
can do
you're
20
on
squats.
30 squats. And
Okay.
Alona, you're only on 10 squats.
I like
Oh, not
this.
bad.
And I'm on 30 squats. So me and
Welcome.
you, Jesse, are tied for that.
We'll-
Okay,
We'll have a squat off.
yeah. Okay, round number 2 is for push-ups. Okay, and it's
Okay.
5 push-ups per wrong answer.
Oh, why are the push-ups so low? That's where I specialise.
I can make it 10 if you want. I was being nice.
Yeah.
No, I'm okay with 5.
Okay, I'll make it 10.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Okay.
Sean,
You
are
wait
no
till it's
longer my
burpees.
friend.
Burpees
Okay.
are my specialist.
Okay, so round number 2 for push-ups. Upon completion of your 3rd Tough Mudder, what colour headband do you receive? A, red, B, orange, C, green, or D, blue?
D.
So
C.
Jesse's going D.
I have literally no idea. I didn't even know the word.
Sean's
isn't
going
urban.
C.
I'm going to
Alona?
go for
Hang on, just checking.
orange. Oh, sorry.
I'll
What
do the
number was
colours
orange?
again. Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. A, red. B,
Yeah.
orange. C, green. D,
Yeah.
blue.
I still want C.
Okay. And Alona?
Orange, please.
B. The correct answer is D, blue.
Yeah. Oh,
Only
well done,
Jesse got that one right.
Orange is you get orange on your first one, I think.
You do
That's
get
the only
orange
one I
on
knew
your
for
first
sure.
one, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Why
what I
did you think that
figured.
one?
But
I
the other
didn't.
colours
Oh.
are just so weird. I remember that you get a jacket if you've done like 100 miles, and that comes in different colours. But yeah.
I figured we speak about Spartan a lot, and now that Spartan
Mm.
bought Tough Mudder, we need to get a bit more with the vibe.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I like it.
Joe DeSena's first obstacle style race was called the Death Race. But what year did he first host this event? 2010, 2006, 2007, or 2005? So A, 2010, B, 2006, C, 2007, D, 2005.
See, I feel like we
Can I
should
have
all
B,
know this
please?
one because they talk
I
about it
answered
in the
this in my
SGX
SGX.
exam.
Okay.
And
I
I'm pretty
didn't
sure
know.
that I
Yes.
memorised it and then wiped it from my brain straight away.
I've
So
got
Jess-
it saved in a note on my phone.
Hands off that phone.
I'm going
Yeah.
with 2006.
2006. So you're also going B,
Okay.
I think it's D.
and Sean thinks it's D. The answer is C, 2007.
Oh no!
2007. Okay, but this is your bonus question, rep reductor. Okay, for those of you that got it wrong, which was all of you. Okay, whoever answers first, okay, gets to minus a set of reps. Okay,
Do we need to buzz in, or is it just a shout out?
I'm just going to knock you out.
it's a shout
Good.
out. Okay,
Okay.
so it's a shout out. Okay,
You don't have to lean the microphone.
tell me exactly how many people participated.
32.
17.
in, sorry. Started or finished?
Participated.
Okay. 48. Are we just going till we get it
I said
right?
17.
1,
No. What did you say?
2,
I said
3.
No,
Look
yours.
at me like it's nothing.
No. I just didn't hear your answer because it was 8 people.
Alona
Not-
wins.
Crazy.
Are we
that
doing
that was the
closest or are we
foundation.
No
just
one.
No.
No,
I was
no, I
like
think
exactly
we're
the
just
reps. We're going hardcore. We're Spartans. Come on. Okay. Question number 3. This is a really good round. I haven't had anything yet.
Oh, no.
Okay. So, in the current Spartan rulebook, how many single attempt pass-fail obstacles are there in total? Okay. A, 15. B, 20. C, 25. D, 30.
Just pass fail, yeah?
Just pass-fail
Single
obstacles
attempt.
in total in the current
A?
Spartan rulebooks. Okay, so
No,
Sean's
B.
gone for A.
I'm
Are you going for A or B?
A.
A.
I'm going with
I'll
B.
have B because it'll annoy him if he gets it wrong.
Don't both
Oh,
go
no,
for B. We need to
snap.
give Jason push-ups.
You're both going for B. That's it. I've written it down. It counts. Okay.
Fine, make
Currently-
mine
Not B.
C. Make mine
Current-
C
I'm not
then.
making it C.
No,
already
you've not
answered.
said the answer yet.
I mean, it's definitely not B.
All right. Currently, okay, in the Spartan rulebook, the amount of single pass-fail obstacles is B20.
Oh.
Okay, so
Yay.
Jesse got that one right. Sean got that
It's
wrong.
strong.
And Alona got that wrong. Okay, so then for Sean's correct answer, I have to do 1 set of push-ups.
No,
Okay.
Jesse's correct answer.
So
You
Jesse's
went
correct
B.
answer.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Oh damn! If I had stuck to that too, would that have given you 2 sets of push-ups?
Mm.
Okay. So.
Oh, I feel less bad
Oh,
about it then.
I don't know how we're working it. Right. Last question for this round. In what film did The Rock
Right.
and Zac Efron challenge each other to an obstacle course race? A,
This
Baywatch.
one.
Fast and
Oh, sorry,
Furious.
it's not that. That's not the thing, is it? Sorry.
I'd like his answer.
Okay. A, Fast and Furious. B, Baywatch. C, Jumanji. Or D, Welcome to the Jungle.
Baywatch.
I'm probably going to go Baywatch.
Yeah,
B.
Baywatch.
Okay, so all
I got
Baywatch.
confused with the shout-in round. I wanted to lose some reps.
Okay, so you all got that
That's
right.
30 push-ups for you, Jay.
So that's 40 for that round then. Okay, but here's the rep. There is another bonus point rep minus
This
for
is
this
the one you
one.
shout out for.
This is what you shout out for. Okay, so you get to minus 10 reps if you get this right. What was the name of that obstacle course?
In Baywatch.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, just checking I understood the question.
The face-off. Awkward silence. It wasn't that.
Something stupid like the obliterator.
Yeah, it was something stupid like that. That it was like, you know, the extreme ultimate challenge or something. But I don't
Last
know.
5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The name of that obstacle course was the absentee father because it is harsh and it will leave you scarred.
Oh God, yes. So it
It's
was something
like-
stupid.
It was stupid.
Yeah, but yeah,
I mean, I would never have guessed that.
Okay, cool. So round number 3. Okay, this is for burpees. I went for 5 burpees again, but are you?
That
Just go
sounds
10,
fine.
10, 10.
I would
It makes
argue that
everything
easier.
actually
I think we're
10
okay
is better
I think
because
5
I'm an
is-
obstacle burpee specialist.
5 is fine.
Just go 10, 10, 10 because
10.
it's easier for people playing along at home.
Okay, we'll go for 10 then.
Aw.
Okay,
If you don't want to do 10 burpees, don't worry about it.
okay. Who was Spartan's first female race director? Was it A, Sarah Fjord, B, Laura Plord, C, Jasmine Lord, or D, Rebecca Sword?
Oh gosh.
C.
Can
Sure,
you read
we'll
those
go
out
for
soon,
different answers.
please?
B.
Jesse's gone for B.
Oh, okay, fine, I'll
Christ,
just
I'm in the
go for-
wrong. Hang on, I'm in the wrong thing. Okay, so Sean, you went for what? C.
C. But I'm
Okay.
debating A.
Jesse went to
B.
B.
I'll go for A just to be different.
Go for A.
So I have no idea.
Okay. The correct answer is B, Laura Plord.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm saying her
That
name
was
right.
the only. I said that the plord sounded made up. I thought you just rhymed it, and I was like, "That's not a real name." Sorry, Laura.
Sorry, I did rhyme the rest of them.
listening to
because
this,
I
you
wanted
don't
to.
Am I?
I wanted to make it
Laura
difficult.
might
Okay,
be a dedicated OCR review fan.
Laura, if you are, hit us up. We'd love to
Okay,
hear
so
from you.
there was one right answer there. That's one set of 10 burpees for me. Okay. Question number 2. Red Bull's Neptune Steps requires the participants to complete what sequence of events? An upstream swim separated by climbing obstacles. B, an open water swim followed by a 15 obstacle running route. C, an uphill climb on a thawed ski run. Or D, a vertical marathon followed by a rooftop pool swim.
I think
Let's
A.
give Jay 30 burpees. It's A.
You sure?
100%.
Okay.
Sean's
I'm
going
also
for
going
A.
A.
Oh, this is like confidence in the team. I hope we're all right here.
Yeah.
I said A. I
You
was
were
the
going
first
for
one to
A as well.
answer. He
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
listen to me.
Okay, you're all right. Yay.
Hey, that's lots of burpees for Jay.
Right. Okay. Which of the following? You're not going to get this though. I'm almost too confident. now.
Bold. Let's all go for different answers, so he has to at least one.
Yeah.
Okay. Which of the following is not a standard Spartan regulation wall height in feet? 7 foot
In what? Sorry.
in feet.
In feet. Sorry.
Okay. Which of the following is not a Spartan regulation wall height? 7 foot, 8 foot, 9 foot, or 10 foot?
9 foot.
So you're going for C, 9 foot.
I'm going to go B, 8 foot.
The 8 foot.
There is an 8-foot wall.
But is it in the rule book?
I'm going to go for 6 foot. I feel like it's 7,
Okay, well,
8,
you can't go
9.
for that because that wasn't an option. You can
Wait,
go for A,
again?
7 foot, B, 8 foot, C, 9 foot, or D, 10 foot.
Oh.
If that's the game we're playing, I'm going to go for 17 foot. That's definitely not in there.
I'm pretty sure there's no 60-foot wall.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever the last one was.
D, 10 foot. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
the
I'm quite
correct,
confident on
the
mine.
correct answer is the only wall that is not a regulation height of those answers is C, 9 foot. Okay, so C
Yeah,
was the
because
correct
there's a
answer.
7 and an 8, and then there's the 10-foot box, so that would
Yeah.
be
Well,
counted
there's a
under
10
that.
foot. Well, there's a 10-foot wall as well. That is
Okay.
its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 9 foot. I found that interesting when I was looking for the rule book for questions. That it went like 7, 8. The 6, 7, 8 walls are their own thing, and then a 10-foot wall is its own separate wall, listed all by itself, which is really
Aw,
bizarre.
special.
Okay, so Sean
It's
got that
special.
wrong. Jesse got that. Jesse got that right. Alona got that wrong.
Have I got anything right yet?
No.
Yes, you got
Baywatch.
Neptune. You got Neptune steps right from this
Oh,
round.
yeah.
Okay, so that because Jesse got that right. Oh god damn! I'm on 50 burpees.
He's on 50 burpees now.
Okay, last question of the burpee round. Okay,
We could get him up to 80 in one round.
Oh, this is
what
true.
did Toughest rename their salmon ladder to this year? Was it A, the flying fish, B, breaching whale, C, cod ladder, or D, non-trademarked fish climbing appliance?
C.
I'm going to go C as well. Jesse was very confident.
Oh, yeah, so was I.
The annoying thing, Jay, is that you sent this to us. So if we get
Yes.
this wrong, that's really annoying.
It really shows that we just don't pay attention to the things that
I
we
did
read.
send this to you because I also sent you one of the other answers.
Really?
Oh, see, I feel like it's C, but I'm going to go for A just because I want to make sure that we're not all going for the same thing and give him some chance to maybe do stuff. I don't know.
Okay, the correct answer is C,
Ah,
cod
there we
ladder,
go.
which means Alona got it wrong, you two got it right. That means I have another 20 burpees to do.
If you get
Okay, so
3
I know.
rounds, that is
I
a
know.
rough old...
Yeah.
Well, no, how does the rounds work? Because,
What do you mean, how does the
Same.
rounds work?
Why-
You came up with this.
yeah, no, for you guys, you've thrown in this whole extra thing for me. I don't know.
Well,
I
Okay.
think we
When we
maybe
get
just
there.
let him go. You can choose, Jay, on the rounds whose
Okay.
answers count, and we'll just let you pick one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, where are we up to? Planks. Okay, this is for planks, and it's 30 seconds per wrong answer. Okay.
Okay.
So, the SEA Games saw the first time a modern OCR event has been hosted at an IOC-ratified competition. The Philippines dominated this field, but how many medals did they achieve overall in obstacle racing? How many medals did the Philippines win overall? A, 14, B, 11, C, 12, or D, 10?
I would like 11, please.
Jesse's going for 11, so that's B.
Go for
Do
11
we
as
remember
well.
how many events there were? I thought there was only 3 events, so all of those confused me.
But there's if it's going by the number of medals, the team
Oh,
events
so, like,
had
So the team events count as 4.
It was also
yeah.
because the team would be like males, females mixed.
Right.
Mm.
Okay. So then...
I love that Sean's pretending like he actually knows.
Was 10 an option?
A was 14, B was 11, C was 12, and D was 10.
D then, please.
D. Okay, so Sean was right, and Jesse
Oh.
and Alona were wrong.
Do you know how I did that? I worked out how many events there were and how many medals you could win. Because they got
They win everything.
2 podiums in every single, like 2 podium spots in every event, didn't they?
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
good knowledge.
Ah, so he actually
Strong-
was like
strong
doing
knowledge.
proper maths.
Okay, so one set of 30
I just was
seconds
pretending.
blanks for me. Okay. Oh no, I'm getting you.
More maths questions, please.
Okay. All right. These are quite history based. I like them. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Pre-World War One, George Herbert introduced the idea of parcours de combattant, taking and arranging physical tests into a permanent course. This was the first time we saw obstacle courses enter the modern parlance. But what branch of the French military was first to adopt this idea? The Marine Nationale, which is the Navy, the Armée de Terre, Alona can speak
Really
French,
love
so
this
she's looking at me
accent.
like,
Yeah, I'm just like,
horrendously,
oh, the accent.
which is the army.
Lou,
I'm
if you're
sorry,
listening, we're
but,
really sorry.
but I am trying my hardest.
All of France.
If you're
we're
French and
sorry.
you're listening, we're sorry.
Yeah.
The Armée de l'Air, which is the Air Force, or the Gendarmerie, which I know is one word. Hang on, the Gendarmerie, which is the military police. Okay, so the Navy, the Army, the Air Force, or the military police. Who were
Does
the
anyone
first to
know?
adopt the obstacle course?
No, no idea. I'll go D.
I'll have C.
Okay, so Jesse went D,
I'll go for the
Sean went
army.
C, and Alona went B. You are all wrong. It was the Navy.
Oh.
The Navy were the first.
Why would the Navy be the
to
first
adopt.
to come up with OCR?
I don't know. but they were.
That's so baffling. That was the
How much
only
on a
one that
boat,
I was
though?
like, well, it can't be the Navy.
Yeah, but I guess like the marine. If you think about like
Just
Marines,
jumping over cannons.
yeah, but Marines are also like land. Like so, the Marine Nationale is the Navy. A lot of armies separate their Marines and their Navy. So the Marines being like the army section of the Navy, whereas they have them combined.
Well, see, now
Right.
that was just you misleading us because you said the Navy. So
They
I
are
was
the Navy,
thinking
though.
about men on boats.
Yeah, but the British Army has the Marines as part of the Navy. It's the American Army that has the Marines as a separate force altogether.
But
Yeah,
I'd
I
have
think that's
guessed Marines
cheating.
if that was an option.
Oh yeah, obviously.
I said
think
the
we should all
Mar-
do a plank
I
for
said
that.
I said the Marine Nationale. That is the
It was
proper
your poor
name.
accent that confused me.
We nicked the term Marines from the whatever. You got it wrong. Deal with it. You saw losers. I didn't have to do no planks for that
Hey,
one.
I'm over here just doing a plank.
That's not how
Okay.
you do a plank.
Okay, so I've spoken about this guy before in our burpee conversation. Royal Burpee
Oh, Royal Burpee.
invented
Really
the
hoping his
burpee
name
as a
was what was-
fitness and flexibility test in what year? 1935, 1940, 1930, or 1920?
D.
So Sean's going for D, 1920.
No, I'm gonna go
Can I
for
have 35?
Oh,
Jesse.
Okay, I'll go.
Are both going for 1935?
No, I'll go
okay.
A. What was A?
1935?
Oh.
So we're both going for 1935 then.
No, I'll have 1930.
1930, okay. The correct answer was 1930. Okay, so
Oh.
he created it in 1930, just before the Second World War for the American military. Okay,
What did I say?
you said D.
Which was?
1920.
Wrong.
1920.
Oh, yeah, I was wrong.
Okay.
I meant 1930. Sorry, can you just
Oh
change that?
yeah, sure.
Okay, so I've got a minute of planks for that one. That's a pretty good round for planks. Okay,
It's not a good round for me. I've got.
okay,
every
bringing
single
us
one
to
so far.
our final round for rounds.
I'm a bit scared of this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Question number 1 for rounds for rounds.
So sorry,
okay?
is there how many questions are there? 4 questions again.
There's 3 questions for this one.
Okay, so why does this change? If we get one of us gets it right, you do a round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
But
but
it just rather than the others where it adds up. So like, say me, Jesse, and Lona all get it right. That's still only one round for
Yes.
you.
okay.
Or else that
Yeah,
would be
that's
really
fine.
mean.
So it doesn't matter how many of us
It
get it.
doesn't
Right.
end up with 6. Yeah, because for the burpees, I've ended
Yeah.
up with 70, which is more than even you guys would have to do if you got all. You'd have only had 40 anyway. Okay. Okay. Which of the following is not a language that the official Spartan rulebook is issued in?
Oh, good question.
A, French, B, English, C, Spanish, or D, Mandarin?
D.
D.
2 Ds, double Ds.
Wait.
Sorry, my
Lona?
vest slipped.
I'm gonna go. Oh, see, I was gonna say D as well, but I feel like then potentially that gives you no rounds. I'm going to go with Spanish.
C, Spanish. Which is correct.
Oh.
Spanish.
Oh, well
so
done,
I have 1 round. Yeah, it's in Portuguese, not Spanish.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
Is
It is
Spanish,
good-
is Spanish a language? Like, is
Yeah.
that the name of a language?
Yeah, Portuguese.
I was just thinking it was one of those ones where like
No.
Spanish isn't the name; it's Espanol
it's-
or Portuguese. Like,
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 1 round to do.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Interesting.
I assumed it was Mandarin because I thought they'd have to create their own rule book, like because Spartan possibly wouldn't have like
Because
Translate.
they
Because
run
of
on different
various
platforms for
regulations
everything
and
else,
stuff,
Yeah.
No, it's on the website. It's in French, English, Portuguese, and Spanish, and Mandarin.
Nice.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Hold My Shoes, which is the name of a company who makes bouncy castles, created the world's longest inflatable obstacle course. How long is it? Is it A, 495 meters, B, 500 meters, C, 505 meters, or D, 510 meters?
And this is longest continual.
Longest continual. So it's like once you get.
So it's not like the one which we did. We did
It's
one
not
that
like
was
Colour
called
Run.
Colour Rush,
No.
and it was
loads
a
of separate
5K,
inflatables. No.
a 5K inflatable obstacle course race, but you ran between the different bouncy castles. It
Yeah,
was really cool.
No. It's
That
a
does sound fun.
continuous. It's a continuous unit. So it's like those like ones that you used to go to at like boot sales and stuff.
You're gonna have to give me the answer.
I'm gonna go 500 because if it's not a round number, that's just weird.
Okay, so Jesse's going for B, 500.
What were the other options?
Okay, so A is 495.
Yep.
B is 500. C is 505. D is 510.
I'm going to go for 505.
505. So Alona's going
I
for
will
C.
I'll have A 495.
And Sean is going for A 495. The correct answer is A 495.
Nice work,
Oh,
Sean.
just add 5 meters of plastic. Like, come on.
I feel like there must be some rule against making it 500 meters.
Okay, cool. Oh, I actually don't
Oh,
know
I'm
why they
500.
chose 595. I guess maybe the last one was only like 500 or something, 490. So they just beat it by enough. I don't know.
Have to look it up.
Yeah.
They literally just strapped one bouncy thing onto the end of their last record attempt.
Yeah.
Okay, last question
5
for
meters
round.
is quite a lot, actually.
Mm.
Yeah, it's pretty long. I mean, like, it's over. I mean, if you think about that, that's more than once round a running track, right? Plus a little bit more, totally on a bouncy castle the whole time. I really want to give
I
it a
want
go.
to do it.
The
You
photo's
have to have
incredible.
some big fans to get that moving.
Yeah,
wouldn't you?
right. They've set
We're
it up
cheering
in,
you
like,
on, or? Hooray!
just a good set of lungs on you. Okay, last question for rounds, okay? Now, Bottom Field is the name for the British Marines' infamous assault course, which requires participants to ditch jump, wall climb, net crawl, A-frame steps, monkey bars, balance wall, Tyrolean traverse with a full release and regain back onto the rope, balance beam, 4-foot wall, 6-foot fence, tunnel crawl, and cargo net, all whilst carrying 14 kilograms of kit and a rifle. What is the record time for this obstacle course? Is it A, 1 minute 59 seconds, B, 2 minutes 43 seconds, C, 3 minutes 5 seconds, or D, 3 minutes 34 seconds?
What was the distance of the course, sorry?
I don't know the official distance. It only lists the obstacles, but they're fairly back to back.
Oh.
Yeah, I couldn't get that information. I could only get what the obstacles are.
I'm going
Did
to
you
go
tell
for...
Dan this while I was sat there the other day and I could have heard it and didn't?
Yes.
Oh dear.
Because he's done this course and some of the other bits he was saying. So
Can we have the times again, please?
yes. So is it 1 minute 59, 2 minutes 43, 3 minutes 5, or 3 minutes 34?
I'm going to
Okay,
guess
I'm gonna go
2
B,
minutes
please.
43.
Okay, so Sean's going B. Ilona?
The 2 minutes 43 one.
Ilona's also going B.
I'll go
Jessie?
C.
Go C. Okay. The
If
record
it's A, that's super impressive.
Yeah.
the record time is in fact B. 2 minutes and 43 seconds. So Sean got that right.
You're wrong.
And
I know, but you
Ilona
got it
got
right.
that right. So
Yeah.
so that means that I have 3 rounds in total to do. She got that. But
I think
incredibly
I have 3 too.
impressive.
I did a terrible job.
Um,
there.
I mean, any of those times is super fast.
Pretty
I just
fast,
thought, like,
right?
sub 2 minutes, I was like, we couldn't even say it in 2 minutes. Like,
It would
Yeah.
take me that long to convince myself to pick up the rifle, to be honest. I'd be looking at it like...
Because that's the thing as well. Like, that's not just a fast time, but that's a fast time in kit
Yeah, like carrying 14 kilograms
and in
worth of
boots
stuff.
and all of that kind of stuff. And it is fairly condensed, but holy hot damn.
I'm also
like-
thinking like the tyro, like a full release, so you have to let go with your legs
hang
and
then
then
get back on,
yeah.
and then crawl to the end.
So
And
even
they
that
go
is a
over
long
the
time.
and they go over the top as well. So you go to the middle
Yeah.
and then roll off, extend, and then come back, go back on top of the rope, and then keep going.
Yeah, that's
could
not...
you imagine if we tried to do that on a Spartan tyro? I touch the floor when I'm fully gripped. If I tried to do a full extension, I'd be stood up with a rope at my waist.
I think you should do that next time and just be like, well, it doesn't
It's
count as a
military
failure
standard.
because
Yeah,
I'm just
military
doing like
standard.
military style release
'Cause
and
I-
regain.
So when I was like 13 in the Army Cadets, they taught us to go over the top on tyro. So I still do it that way now, even though I'm not. I don't have to. I can go
You've
under if
seen
I
what I
want.
wear at a race.
Yeah, well, I
I
do
went
scratch.
over the top. I take every part of my body off.
Yeah, I scratch myself to pieces every time. But yeah, okay, well done, guys. Right, so this
That
is
was
the.
great.
Okay, I'm glad you liked it. Okay,
Yeah, it was good
this
fun.
is the scores on the doors for everyone. Okay, so Sean, you have 20 squats, 30 push-ups,
Yeah,
20 burpees,
perfect.
a minute of planks,
Yeah, fine.
and you just have to do it for 1 round.
That's actually like quite a good deal.
Yeah,
Okay,
easy.
Jess, you have 30 squats, 10 push-ups, no burpees,
Oh, that's a favourite.
Wow.
Yeah.
Burpee free race.
a minute of planks for 3 rounds.
Ooh.
For 3 rounds.
I'm okay with that.
Alona, you have 10 squats, 30 burpees. Sorry. You have 10 squats, 30 push-ups,
I hate them as well.
30 burpees, a minute and a half of planks.
I did not do well.
For 1 round.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad.
That's okay.
That's not so bad.
Yeah, no, I'm
And
okay.
Jay?
I have.
Jason's the
I
best.
don't know how I ended up with this. I really thought I'd got away with it. So I have 30 squats, 40 push-ups, 70 burpees, a minute of planks for 3 rounds. So I have to do, what is that? Oh my God, what is
That's
that?
more than
That's a
everyone.
lot of burpees.
It's a lot of burpees. That's 140, 200 and
10.
I feel a
210
little bit
burpees.
bad that he made the
Oh.
quiz and has now got the worst punishment.
Not
of
only
all
that,
us.
right? But I made the quiz and I was like, oh, just 5 push-ups and 5 burpees. And then you're like, no, I'll bump it up to 10. Oh, I've been shafted big time.
Oh, that's
Okay,
brilliant.
well,
Is
let us
there
know.
a time cap?
There isn't a time cap. You can just get it done. So I think I'll just do this all tomorrow while editing the videos and edits. Okay, so thanks for playing along. Do let us know how you got on as well. We'll post a picture of our little whiteboard of answers.
Yes.
And let us know as you get on. And if you do the workout, film it and put it up for us and let people know that they can come and play along as well. So as is standard, we're just going to finish off with our workouts of the week. And we'll start with Sean.
Oh, I get to go first. That's fine.
Well, yeah, because if you go last, you interrupt yourself.
I talk over myself, yeah. So my workout of the week, so like I say, we're very lucky that we're still allowed out. We're allowed out as long as we stay 1 meter apart from each other and we're in groups of less than 10. So 6 of us, very much less than 10, all over a meter apart. Went to Sentosa last Saturday. It might be, I don't know when it will be now. A Saturday. And did a long workout on the beach.
It was horrific.
It was, 3 of the 4 of us were there. I would say it was not too bad. My legs would say...
That's not what you were saying mid-workout.
Basically, what we did, we went down to the beach and we all brought a sandbag or an empty bag to fill with sand from the beach to use as equipment. And we did a workout that was... So it was a 1 mile run to start. And then we did... I'm reading it off my phone. There's no way I can remember this. I've just realised people can see me staring at the table. So what we basically did was we had 100 reps, but you could do them any way you liked. You didn't have to finish all of one exercise. You just worked through them however you wanted. There was lots of different strategies to do it. So we did 100 burpees, 100 air squats, 100 push-ups, 100 thrusters with a sandbag. My sandbag was 15 kilos of concrete. Thanks, Lucy. Sandbags vary from like very light to heavy. So thrusters, lunges, it was per leg. So it was 200 total lunges, 100 per leg. Did that all in one go. Wasn't sensible. Then we did ground to overheads with the same sandbags. Again, 15 kilos of cement, quite heavy. Butterfly sit-ups and leg raises. And then we also did sprints. So the sprints, what you did, it was 100 meter out and back, which we did 10 times, not 100 times. We didn't run 10K during this workout.
Jay nearly did though.
Jay almost did, yeah.
I lost count.
Then we had a pack of cards, and some of the exercises were linked to the cards. You drew 10 cards, and for each exercise you did 10 reps. It was another 100 reps, and you could either do burpees with hearts, push-ups with spades, another sprint with diamonds, and the ground to overheads with clubs. So you could end up doing 200 burpees. If you got really unlucky and drew 10 hearts, chances are very low. Like I tried to work on percentages and stuff. And then to finish, we had to sprint off round a rock and run into the sea. It was awful. I think Emily finished first. Technically, Lucy finished first.
Until she
didn't finish first because she couldn't count. I think, Emily took about an hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah, I
20
came in at an
minutes.
hour and a half.
Yeah, I was like 1:35. Like it's a big workout. It's like 90 minutes to 2.5 hours. Like,
Jay has disappeared. Is he remembering how bad it is? He's just given up.
sunk under the
He's gone to
table.
have a cry.
He's given up on life. No, he's just realised that his Mac is about to die, so that's also what
Oh,
all
no.
the rustling noises are as he's pulling the computer out the way and plugging it in on charge.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's that
Yeah.
definitely doesn't reach.
We will post the workout of the week as we always do for people to do, but
Proceed with caution.
Sorry, mad
really
panic.
for this one, if you're like, 6 fit people did it, and it took us 90 minutes to 2 hours. Like,
You could half it, and it
yeah,
would be a
do
very
less.
decent workout.
This is one, unless you're like regularly fit and know what you're doing, I wouldn't necessarily say do it without other people or at home or at all.
We did it on the day that the Sentosa race was due to be, and the race would have been 100% easier.
We did
And
took the
shorter
race
as well
an
if it
hour
took you
plus
like
faster.
19.
It took me 2 hours and 10 minutes. Yeah, I was the last to finish just by that benchmark.
Yeah, but Captain Integral, you bashed that out to the end, and I was super impressed.
Yeah, it was a great workout for us, but while I've spent most of this thing saying don't do too many push-ups at home, definitely don't do our 1,000 rep workout if you're new to exercise. Like, yeah, cool. That's it. Like, it was great. It hurt.
Cool. Jessie, what was yours?
Okay, so I decided, so I did that with Sean on Saturday and everyone else. And then we did a strength session on the Sunday. And then I decided what would be really clever on the Monday would be to attempt a vertical mile at Bukit Hill. So in typical me fashion.
What's the vertical mile?
So vertical mile is accumulating a mile's worth of distance in elevation. Okay, so you're looking, for those of us that work in kilometers, you're looking at just over 1,600 meters of vertical gain across however long it takes. So it could be, so I did it at Bukit Hill. So for each lap I was doing, it's about 1.9K of distance, and you get about 140 meters of elevation. So I was looking at 11.5 to 12 repeats. Which
one is enough to kill me.
Seemed really manageable before I started, and it was when I'd finished my first lap in about 20 minutes. I kind of looked at 25 minutes, and I looked at my watch and thought, ooh, I might have misjudged this slightly. So I continually reassessed on the go. I got to half a mile and did that weird thing that you do with like long horrible workouts where you're like, oh, now that I'm at half a mile, I could probably go forever. And then like 200 meters later was like, I can't go forever. This is awful. So I settled in the end at 1,000 meters of vert. So it was decent enough challenge. I think it took about 2.5 hours. I did about 13 kilometers, of distance. And it was a beast of a workout, but my calves the next day were ruined. So I definitely called it at the right time. I'm going to go back for it. I think it's I've just put a blog up on Team Grit. If you're interested in like mixing up your training, sometimes, especially at the minute where we're getting more runs in, setting an elevation of a certain amount rather than trying to hit pace or distance can be a nice way to mix it up. So I've put some details on the Team Grit blog if you are interested, but yeah, I'll be going back for it. I definitely think I can do it. I just probably should have a rest day before doing it, maybe. But yeah, it was a good challenge.
Cool. Well, mine was also uphill, except it was stair-based workout. So my workout of the week, I decided to integrate the stairs in our condo with a 15 kg sandbag carry. So we have quite a short condo. So I was going up and down the 5 flights just running. And then with a sandbag. And at the end of each round, I did 10 reps of a different exercise. So round 1, I did burpees, then squats, then V-ups, push-ups, lunges, and then round 6 finished with burpees again.
Nice. That sounds great.
Yeah, it was really good fun. I think it took me around 17-ish minutes. So it was a nice kind of finisher burner at the end. I'm going to try and get that time down a little bit shorter the next time I do it. But I thought that would be probably quite a nice one to benchmark whilst we are kind of limiting how much time we're spent outside and around people. I was like, I'll do it now, see how I go, and then try it again maybe in a month's time.
And that's a good one. Even if you live in a house and you've got a flight of stairs, that'd be a good one that you could adapt.
100%.
Yeah, exactly. Because even though I was kind of going the whole way up and the whole way down in a condo, if you've got like one set of stairs, you could definitely just up, down, up, down, up, down. It'd be the same thing.
Yeah. My workout of the week this week, I took social distancing really seriously and I went wakeboarding. So I was 15 meters behind the boat at all times. I really like wakeboarding. I managed to land a couple of little jumps. We had someone on the boat leaping with us, who is, she used to be part of a wakeboard team. So she told me to get rid of all my bad snowboarding habits and wakeboard a little bit better. And I managed to land a couple of little jumps and stuff, which is cool. What I do like about wakeboarding is it gets you out in the open. It's really nice being on the water. The water is super clear at the moment because there's less people out on the water. So it's less polluted, which is really nice. But it's a really good grip burner when you're being tugged behind like a big V8 speedboat.
Yeah, this is true.
Actually holding on to the rope is quite intense, especially when you're out there for a while. So that was a really nice grip burning workout. So
yeah, actually that's a really good point. The first time I went wakeboarding, and all of our friends were like, "Oh, this is going to be hilarious! You're going to fall off straight away," and I just held on through sheer will and Spartan training. So yeah, that was quite fun.
Sorry,
I feel like we totally missed something.
I was being super immature there. I couldn't. I was trying to stop myself. I heard tugged from behind, and
Oh God.
I'm just being a teenager, but I was really trying to hold it in.
We should probably end this week's episode.
And that concludes this episode of the OCR Review. We hope you enjoyed it and we'd love to hear from you, so please hit us up on our social media channels. You can email us at theocrreview@gmail.com, find us on Instagram at theocrreview, or on Facebook at the OCR Review.
Remember to send us your thoughts, questions and suggestions for future episodes, and please do subscribe on Spotify, Apple or your podcast platform of choice and leave us a review. We've been
Ilona,
Jay,
Sean
and Jessie.
and this is the OCR Review. Thanks for listening.